Okay, so I did an art project on the subject of lab created meat, which is on the horizon of becoming a widely produced and widely accessible alternative to the traditionally slaughtered and harvested meat from living beings. And it's also likely to take over a significant portion of the meat and animal agriculture industry's market share. Lab created meat, or clean meat, is meat grown from animal cells in what are essentially petri dishes, rather than from slaughtering and butchering an animal. It's accomplished through taking a microscopic sample of the animal cells and cultivating them into muscle, tricking the cells into behaving as if they're still inside the owner. And since no animals are harmed in this process of making clean meat, it's immediately more ethical than the meat products offered in markets and restaurants today. It's not only more ethical, but it requires much fewer resources than animal agriculture industries do. And this is in part due to the amount of land and water they use. And additionally, they create a ton of greenhouse gas emissions, and it's estimated that transitioning to clean meat could cut emissions, land use, and water use by over 90%. Furthermore, clean meat can also go a long way in addressing environmental concerns about overharvesting, especially in our oceans due to commercial fishing. Unfortunately, though, it's not producible at a competitive price point currently, and there's still a lot of work to be done on figuring out a solution for replacing the need for animal blood in the cultivation process. However, the technology and knowledge does exist to surpass these challenges, and clean meat will become more familiar to the public in the coming years. Okay, so for my art piece, I have it split into two different sides. One side is meant to show the past and current status of meat consumption, while the right side is meant to depict the future of meat consumption involving clean meat. On the left-hand side, I have a trash can full of blood and bones, and that is meant to symbolize the trail of decay and death that is left behind by the meat industries, as well as symbolizing the abandonment of the unnecessary slaughter of animals. I also have the knife dripping the blood and cutting through the burger, symbolizing the degree of violence and bloodshed that is hidden behind every meal containing animal meat. And I used the red colors and those warm tones to evoke feelings of primality and carnage. And conversely, I used the blue color to evoke feelings of harmony and balance and peace and things like that. And again, on that right side, I used the strand of DNA to connect the cow with the burger to show how the animal is still being used to create our food, but it is not being exploited in any way. It's not being harmed at all. And I also have the plate to show that this meal is on the horizon of being commonplace. Like it's about to be served. I initially sort of wanted to do two separate paintings to show contrast between the current and present and future status of animal consumption. However, I figured it would be more powerfully symbolic if I were able to show a transition between the two. By keeping them side by side and blending the colors, that is my way of showing how the past will, in the current status of animal consumption, will transition into our consumption of clean meat in the future. All right. Thank you so much.